Good evening, and welcome to another episode on my videos about accordion repair and restoration. Now I'm going to start with just showing you something. This is an accordion. Ooh, this is a big old one. This is one that my good friend Mike gave to me, and the story of this one, a little bit, is this accordion was in his loft, I think, in his house, and he didn't have a use for it. It wasn't playing, and so he gave it to me, and I restored it, did a full restoration on it, and here it is. So it's one of my early restorations. I did it about 6 years ago, and when Mike gave it to me, he said, I have to make sure that I keep it and don't sell it. Well, I'm never going to sell this because this is absolutely a beautiful accordion. So it's a Pancotti, and it's made in Italy. It's got 120 bass, and it's got 3 voices on the treble, and it dates from the 1930s, so pre-Second World War. I'll just show you how it plays, and see how it's going. So it's a big old beast, as you can see, but I do like it now. So it's got 2 voices on the treble, and it's got this big slider here which changes it from 2 mm to LMM. So let's see. So I'll just do a little tune. That's got a lovely sound. So that's the MM, and then this is with the L as well. So it's a fine sounding instrument. I absolutely love it. And if Mike's watching, there's no way I'm going to sell this, Mike. This is just an absolute peach. So thank you very much for giving it to me. It did take a lot of work to get it up and running, but it was my most glamorous accordion. You know, it's really beautiful, and it's got lots of lovely details and shininess and chrome and all kinds of stuff. So that's my Pancotti 1930s accordion, which I restored about 7 years ago. That's that one. Now, the reason I mentioned this one is because a few months ago I got a call from Hobgoblin Music Shop, which is a wonderful music shop. Well, there's 8 different ones across the country, and Hobgoblin Bristol said, "We've got an accordion. Would you like it? It needs restoration." So I went to have a look at it, and I said, "Yes, please." So I'll show you what this one. Now, this one is this. Now, this one is also a Pancotti, and I thought the one I just had was the most glamorous accordion I'd ever worked on and owned. This one is even more. So it's a beautiful, beautiful accordion. It's got some lovely, like, mother of pearl finish keys. It's got full of like gemstones, and it's just an absolute beaut. Now, if I just turn it around this way a little bit, absolute beaut. So this is what I've been given by Hobgoblin, and so my job now is to restore it. Now, this is going to be a big job. I know that because the other one was a big job, but I'm really looking forward to it because it's just a beautiful thing. So what I'm going to do in the next series of videos is go through restoring this. So first thing to do is to assess what it's like at the beginning. So the first easiest way of doing it is just to pop it on and give it a play and check the compression and see exactly what's going on. So if I just grab this, these are heavy things. There's a lot of metal and wood in these. I'll just try and get this strap all the way around here. I'll just turn the camera on in a minute. There we go. Right, let's see what it sounds like. Now it's not going to sound like the one I restored, obviously, because it hasn't been restored. But let's see what it sounds like. Ooh. Before I do that, I'm just going to loosen the strap. Let's have a look at the compression. Okay, so the compression is feeling it's going to be alright. It needs a bit of work, but there's not like massive leaks, because if there's massive leaks in the bellows you could just be putting them really easily. But this one, it has got some resistance, but obviously it will be worked on, so I think maybe the pallets will need to be worked on, and also the bellows gasket, and that will really help. But as it stands, pretty good. Now let's have a look at so many notes. I'm not expecting much. Beautiful. And it's got like a bar here, and this is the one that gets the low reading rather than the slider. Even more beautiful. Let's have a little look at the treble bass side. Oh, there's so many buttons. Trying to find. There we go. That's my C. Whoa. Okay, this sounds really interesting. I'll do a little tune with both left and right. Okay, so lots of work needed. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start disassembling it, and I'll show you what it's like inside. Just give me a second while I change. Okay, so here we are. So what I'm going to do next is do some disassembly. So I think the first thing, I'll just have a look under the grill. So undo these little screws here, put them somewhere safe. So just have a look at. Oh. Right, okay, this is looking good. I'll just bring it a bit closer. Just tip it. It actually looks really nice. So these just look in really nice quality ones, really nice pallets. The leather underneath the pallets looks quite thin, but these look good. So it's looking quite tidy and dry and clean actually, so it's not looking right old mess. That's a good thing. Right, okay, that's nice. Next thing then, let's have a look at the reeds, which is always a big one. So I'm going to pull the pins out, and there's always got my little block, so I put the pins in the right place. It's really important because they do kind of find their own little position, and if you get them back in the same position, it just makes things a lot easier. So let's take these out. So I'll start by looking at the treble side. What I'm expecting to see is the valves, leather valves on the reeds curling up a bit and being in quite a poor condition, because that's what it sounded like. But what I'm hoping is that the reeds aren't really rusty, because then that will be like a bit of a shame, and it can be quite difficult to do anything with if there's lots of rust on the reeds, because they just won't work properly, and by the time you get all the rust off you would have changed the way the reed performs, and it wouldn't be particularly good. Right, so I'm hoping there's not too much rust on these. So if I turn that around, it's heavy. Oh my goodness. There we go. Let's take the top off. If I can. Hang on, I might have to do this here. Give me a second. Ooh, right. This hasn't been off for a while. Hang on, I'm just going to bring it over. There we go. Right. Let's have a little look. Ooh. What I might do, I'm going to change the camera angle so I'll give you a good look at the insides. Well, actually, I can do it this way. So the first thing is there's lots of reeds to kick off with, and as I expected, the valves are all curling up. Now what I'm going to do next is just get the reed blocks out and just have a little look at them so I can see what condition the reeds are in, because obviously I need them to be in quite good condition to be able to carry on working with this restoration. So all I'm going to do is undo the little screws holding in the clamps. Before I do that, I'm going to number them so I know which is which before I put them back in again. So I'll just get them out, and when I've got them out I'll just show you what they look. Okay, here they are. Now one thing that's interesting is that two of the reed blocks have got these metal slides in. Now this is what I did a little bit of work on the concerto. Same kind of slide, very similar mechanism. Now as I'm pulling this in and out, I can feel some resistance, so that means that this will need cleaning up, which I can do and get that working a lot better. That would mean the mechanism will work better. There's also one on here, so this is obviously how you, oh gosh, that one's really stiff. This is how you engage the low set of reeds. Okay, so that's alright, that's definitely something that can be worked on. So next thing is the reeds, and the brilliant thing about this is that the reeds are not rusty. In fact, for an accordion of this age, these reeds are smashing. So this is and you see the reed blocks are quite clean and dry. So this accordion, this is brilliant. This accordion hasn't been left in a damp. It's really been kept in probably perfect conditions by the look of things, because these reeds are in really good shape. So I'm really happy with that. So that's great. So that makes me feel reassured. Now I've also got the reeds in the base side, more difficult to see, but again there's 5 sets of reeds in there, so you've got a kind of an extra piccolo set, but these are just looking the same really. There's no rust on them, but all the valves have gone, so they just need a full removal, clean and strip, as I've done many times before. So that's brilliant. So I've now got a good idea of how this all is. So I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a good one to work on. So what I'm going to do now is to start working on everything. So I think what I'm going to do is start with the reeds, because that's the biggest job, takes the most time, but because I can see that everything is workable, and I'm not going to be wasting my time, then I just think it's time to get stuck in. Now with these reeds, I'm going to be doing exactly what I've always done. So I'm not going to necessarily film it all. I'll just do the bits that well, I'll just show you the bits that are kind of along the way that are key, but maybe not film absolutely everything. Okay, so I might just stop this video now, and now I've had a good look at this accordion, and come back with the next video when I'll be working on the reeds. Okay, thanks for watching.